when you record messages, when you express your art, there are going to be times inevitably where you look at something you've made or you listen to something that you recorded, and you can't help but cringe a little bit. You're like, oh, like, what was I saying, or what was I, what was I thinking? And even when, like, I notice, especially with some of these audio recordings that I'm taking, there are times where, like, I have a feeling inside, I have this intuition, and I have this, like, this little pearl of wisdom that I feel is, it's ready to be shown to the world. It's ready. I want to express this, and I have this. It seems so, like, articulate and just well put together inside of my mind, inside of my heart. And then when I open my mouth, it just comes out so, like, shaky, and and like sometimes I have a little bit of an edge to my voice, like I'm I don't know, like I'm always like this, coming across like some kind of know-it-all or something like that, and I just, like, think to myself, man, that did not come out the way I I had imagined it would. And yet, that, and yet, I've learned not to judge that, not to dismiss that, because as soon as you start telling yourself that you can't, well, I can't express myself because I'm in one of those moods again, and if I try to record something now, I'm just going to come across like, like I'm forcing it, or I'm trying to tell you what to do. I'm just going to come across in a way that I don't want to come across, basically. And yet, that really creates such a limitation. It really creates such a limitation on what you can do and what you can't do. And it really becomes like, it's just one of those things that I've learned, is that, you don't want to rule anything out. If something works for you, no matter how cringy it might seem, no matter how even negatively received it might be by other people as well. It might not even be that you have a problem with what you're saying or what you're expressing, but another person or another group of people seem to really, like, misinterpret what you're saying or doing or whatever. And these are all, whether we're receiving judgment from ourselves or receiving judgment from another, these are kind of the reasons that we make so as to discourage ourselves from expressing what we want to express. So we kind of sometimes we make excuses as to why we shouldn't express ourselves, because we're being judged by another, or maybe we're judging ourselves as though we are another person oftentimes, and it becomes an obstacle that we have to move around. And I'm sure we've all been through this kind of experience in some way or another, because what happens when the pressure, that unreleased pressure, that unexpressed energy builds up to a certain point, well, then it becomes very relieving to express yourself. And then guess what? You really don't care about arbitrary rules or imaginary standards. You just want to express yourself for the joy of expressing yourself, because it feels good and it's the right thing to do. So it really comes back to, who you are, and being in touch with yourself. And, it's really creativity in expressing yourself, and especially something, these kind of stream of consciousness kind of recordings. These are really just about me showing up for myself. This is me getting in touch with my own emotions, getting in touch with my own wisdom, getting in touch with my own creativity. And realizing that the more that I get in touch with who I am and what I am, that automatically smooths out everything else in life.